Okay, so I'm recording for all the people at home. Right, so we are going to do the opioid thing. So if you can remember last time, we were looking at this one, and we were looking at De Quincey's views on opium. All right, and what are De Quincey's view on opium? So this was the guy who was talking about buying the drug from somewhere in London on Oxford Street, and he was talking about how amazing it was. And as we were talking about this, we were getting feedback from you in terms of how he made opium feel and sound like he thought it was amazing. He really, really loved it. So if you get your sheets out, we'll just go through this, and then you're going to write a quick answer on this. So this was the question. We did change the... Okay, this one here. Now look at source B. Look at lines 10 to 20. How does De Quincey use language in this extract to convey his feelings about opium? So if we go back up here, we did start it from here, didn't we? Slightly.
Which one is this?
The second one. Right. So who can tell me something that we talked about? I'll just quickly read it. Okay. I'll go from line. He has ever existed in my mind as a beatific vision of an immortal druggist sent down to earth in a special mission to myself. And it confirms me in this way of considering him that when I next came to London, I sought him near the stately Pantheon and found him not. And thus to me, who knew not his name, if indeed he had one, he seemed rather to have vanished from Oxford Street than to have removed in any bodily fashion. The reader may choose to think of him as possibly no more than a sublunary druggist. It may be so, but my faith is better. I believe him to have evanesced or evaporated. So unwillingly would I connect any mortal remembrances within that hour and place and creature that first brought me acquainted with the celestial drug. Arriving at my lodgings, it may not be supposed that I lost not a moment in taking the quantity prescribed. I was necessarily ignorant of the whole art and mystery of opium taking, and what I took under every disadvantage. But I took it, and in an hour, oh heavens, what a revulsion! What an upheaving from its lowest depths of inner spirit! What an apocalypse of the world within me! Where did we go to? Again, yeah, that my pains had vanished was now a trifle in my eyes. This negative effect was swallowed up in the immensity of those positive effects which had opened before me in an abyss of divine enjoyment thus suddenly revealed. Right, we're going to actually write this answer. When you write the answer, I'm going to go through the assessment objectives in a moment, but you have to write down a hypothesis. You then have to write down the quote that you use, and then you have to explore it. So the whole point, the question is, if we remind ourselves back down here, he conveys his feelings about opium. What are his feelings? It's heavenly. What else? Yeah, it was brought to him by some additional force. What else? Let's go back through this and see if we can have a look at it. Right, okay, so Dom, give me something that suggests he thinks that it was brought to him by God. Or it was brought to him by a force that he can't control.
Drug is sent down to earth for a special mission to myself.
Yes. Where's that one?
The top line.
Oh, yeah. Sent down to earth on a special mission to myself. Lovely. What's the language sent? What's the language there? Yeah, can you, because you've got to be able to pick out the language. This is why when we're talking about this, just quickly write down, like, you know, the verbs, the adjectives and things like that. What does immortal mean?
That's not in that language.
Well, you can use that one.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. So it's immortal, an adjective, immortal, druggist. It suggests that he thinks that he has been given this drug by something beyond the power of man. Because the whole point in this is that he is thinking, as a drug user does, he's thinking it's all about him. And he believes that he's been sent this drug by something beyond him, with a power beyond him. Sent down to earth on a special mission to myself. The verb sent and the idea of sent down to earth suggests again that he's thinking about a higher being that has given him this drug, suggesting that he believes it is so good that it could not be made by man. Very good. Solly, anything that you've got on here? Just say that you've got there.
I believe him to have advanced or
Yep.
evaporated.
Okay, so again, you could use this in the same paragraph as the one that Dom is talking about. Again, the personal pronoun I and the verb believe suggests that he thinks that this person, again, has kind of like this higher calling. It makes drugs seem mysterious and otherworldly, and these are words you might just want to quickly write down. Yes. I need to get the specs out, actually. Yeah, and that the events and evaporated, again, those verbs suggesting that he has vanished. All right, and what that suggests about his belief in the drug. Right, let's have a look at some more of the positives that he says. Celestial. Right, okay, so there is the lexical field of, so you've got heavens, which is followed by the exclamation mark, so suggests deep joy. Where's the celestial bit?
Is it the end?
Oh yes, celestial. So these you can all talk about in the same paragraph. Is the fact that again he is linking to something beyond him. Celestial means like heavenly and in the stars and above. Okay. Okay. Anyone think of anything else? What about this? What a revulsion, what an upheaving from its lowest depths of inner spirit, what an apocalypse of the world within me. What is this? What language technique do we have here? Come on, everyone, you should be able to do this. There's lots of different things, but what is it? What a revulsion, what an upheaving. Not really. What else could you say? Come on. What is repeated? Maisie, what is repeated here? What punctuation is repeated here? Okay. Exclamation marks. Okay, so you have the repetition of the exclamation mark, indicating that he is feeling, joy and these huge emotions, and you have a list in a way of things that he is finding joy in. He's saying, oh, and heavens, what a revulsion, what an upheaving. So it shows that he is exclaiming in a very, very positive way about the effect that this drug has, indicating that he has been moved by it, incredibly moved by it, and he wants to explain to people how wonderful he feels. This is one. My pains had vanished and the negative effect was swallowed up. So you have the verb here of vanished. Again, anybody would suggest that if you could make the difficult things in your life go, and also vanish means you can't see them at all. So he has no connection to anything bad in his life, which establishes just how good he thinks this is. The negative effect was swallowed up in the immensity of these positive effects. What did we say about this?
The drug swallowed him up.
Yes. He's lovely. He has been completely consumed by the drug. And in this case, oh, now why has that happened? That's a very fun, if you want to go back and make a meme with me and that noise. Oh. Right, so the negative effect was swallowed up in the immensity of those positive effects. So the swallowing up, that personification. Here's to Mr. Quincy. Ooh. Loves it. Okay, and also it shows that every part of him has been consumed by this drug, and he feels everything is really like consuming him. The abyss of divine enjoyment. Again, divine is a word that you want to use in conjunction with what Dom said, because divine means a higher power. Right. Do you want me to write? With my other class, I wrote 3. I wrote a couple of. Yeah, let me do that. Right. So in your books, can you just write the the question?
What is
The question's on the other side of your sheet. Let me just do this. What is the question?
Question 3.
All right. Okay. So feels that the drug has so these are.
I'm doing the one you're writing on the board.
Yeah, you can, but just let me write them down first, because you can put them in different orders. I'm just put DQ. So these are.
Wait, we're doing question 2 or question
3. Right, so there's also this one, which I think is a good one, the whole art and mystery of opium taking. The fact that it was an art, what does that show? Anyone know this? The fact that it was an art, what does that show? Art. If you do something and they call it an art, what does it mean? Who said that? Yeah, that it's something beautiful. That it is something wonderful. If you look at art, it is something that is, again, not like, oh, the drudge and the necessity of normal life. All right. So I'm sorry that this is a bit small. I will just sort this out in a minute. I just want to get one more thing. So there you have the things that actually you need. Go, Shadi. Right. Okay. So very quickly, because I didn't. Why are things never easy? Okay, so very quickly, I'm just going to show you what you need to do to add to this. So if you have a look at this, these are the assessment objectives. Let me just show the people at home. Right, these are the assessment objectives that you need to use when you're doing this. So everyone here, like my other year 11s who have already done this, everyone should be getting level 2, 3 or 4. So what you need to do, let me quickly talk through this. The first thing obviously is that you select some appropriate textual detail. So I'm going to give you, well, we'll do 10 minutes today, and then actually, because I would like to give you 20 minutes on this, so we'll do 10 minutes today, and then we'll do 10 minutes tomorrow. So what you need to do first of all is to select some appropriate textual detail. So I'm thinking that you should be getting approximately 3 quotes, 3 paragraphs in this. Okay. Then also makes use of subject terminology. Right, to get a level 3, you have to do that accurately. So you do know your verbs and your adjectives and your adverbs and your metaphor and your lexical field of heaven. And what other things have we got there? Your use of the exclamation mark, okay? And you have to use it accurately. So if you write something really brilliant, but you've actually written verb instead of adjective, and you've used the word noun instead of verb, then you can't get into level 3. Okay? Sorry, but that's just how life is. And also, explaining clearly or analyzes the effects of the writer's choice of language. Now, I have given you hypotheses. After the hypotheses, you do your quote. After the quote, you do your technique, or before, it doesn't matter. And then you explain what it shows. And this is the bit that will get you the marks. So, for instance, if you were to do this one, which is, let's have a look. Let's just see one. So say, for instance, you were going to do the thing that Dom suggested, the fact that he thinks that this has been sent down to earth, and he uses this, the lexical field of heaven and God. You don't go, this shows that he really loves it. You would say something like, it shows the power that the drug has on him, because during that time, people were very religious, and so the fact he thinks it was given to God shows how amazing he thinks it is. He thinks it is so amazing, it is beyond what human beings could create. All right, so that part, when you're explaining the words he does, you should be using 2 or 3 sentences for that. Okay, does everyone understand what they're doing? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this so that if you're at home, you can just do this. Everyone understand what they need to do? Mega. What? Do it now. So what I'll do is I'll put that on there. If you can see here, these are the. Do you want me to make them bigger? And I'll take this off. Right, so if you're doing this at home, spend 20 minutes writing this out, send it to me online and I can mark it. Right, and goodbye.